So, today we're going to talk about something really special, a journey that is just so beautiful and rewarding, memorizing Surah Al-Baqarah. And we're going to unpack a really powerful method that can totally change the game, making it feel less daunting and way more doable. All right, let's just jump right in.
You know that feeling, right? If you've ever thought about this goal, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like you're standing at the bottom of this huge, magnificent mountain. You're in awe, but you're also kind of terrified, thinking, how on earth do I even start? Trust me, you are not alone in feeling that way. But what if I told you there's a map for that climb?
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by really getting a handle on the challenge itself. Then we'll get into the tools we need to conquer it. After that, I'll walk you through the exact method, step by step, show you how to make it all stick, and finally, we'll talk about the real reason we're doing this, the ultimate goal.
Okay, first things first, let's just acknowledge that feeling of being overwhelmed. It's not just in your head, okay? The challenge is real, and just putting a name to it is the very first step to getting past it.
Now here's what's so interesting about these hurdles. They're not four separate problems. It's more like a domino effect. I mean, the sheer length is obviously intimidating. And because it's so long, trying to remember the order of all the stories and rules feels almost impossible. And that leads to that nagging fear in the back of your mind, right? That you'll forget everything you worked so hard on. It all just feels hopeless if you don't have a solid method to lean on.
So, that's exactly what we're going to build, a solid, reliable method. And the best part is, we only need two main tools, and they work together perfectly: visual mind maps and good old-fashioned structured repetition. These two ideas are about to completely reframe how we look at memorization.
Think about it this way. Over here, you've got traditional memorization. You know, just repeating a line over and over and over. It's kind of like building a wall by just stacking bricks one by one, with no blueprint. Sure, you might end up with a wall, but it's grueling work and you never really see the big picture. But then, over here, you've got visual memorization. This gives you the blueprint. It helps your brain see the structure, the patterns, the way everything connects. You're not just stacking bricks anymore. You're actually building a house. It just works because our minds are wired to remember images and stories, not just boring lists.
So what even is a mind map in this context? It's actually super simple. You take a little group of verses, maybe 3 or 4, and you figure out the main idea. That's the center of your map. Then, for every key topic or point in those verses, you just draw a little branch coming out from the center. And just like that, a big block of text isn't just a list of words anymore. It's a picture. It has a structure your brain can actually see.
And this is the absolute game changer right here. This whole method is about a fundamental shift in our goal. We are moving away from just, being able to say the words in the right order. The new goal is to see the flow of the story, to actually get why this verse comes after that one. And that visual understanding, that is the key to deep, solid memorization that you won't forget.
Okay, so that's the what and the why. Now for the fun part, the how. Let's get practical and lay out the exact blueprint for putting all this into action.
It really just boils down to this beautiful, simple 4-step loop. First, you've got to understand the meaning. Read the translation, get the context. That's everything. Second, you physically draw your mind map. Get a pen and paper out, this part's important. Third, you use that map as your guide while you recite. You're building a powerful link between the image in your hand and the words on your tongue. And finally, number 4, you lock it all in with scheduled, focused repetition.
And right here, this is probably the single most important piece of advice I can give you. Start small. Please, don't try to map a whole page on your first day. Just take 3 verses, or even 2. Make one tiny, simple map, master it, and feel that amazing sense of accomplishment. That little win, that's the fuel that's going to get you up that mountain, one steady, confident step at a time.
So learning something is one thing, right? But making it actually stick, making it a permanent part of your memory, well, that's the real trick. And this is where our second tool, repetition, becomes absolutely crucial. So what does smart repetition even look like? Well, here's a concrete number for you: 7. For any new section you've just learned with your mind map, the goal is to recite it from memory about 7 times a day. And that number isn't just random. You are literally carving a new pathway in your brain. You're turning a faint little dirt path into a super solid, reliable highway. And let's never forget the profound spiritual reality that's happening here. Each one of those repetitions is so much more than a memory trick. It's a conscious act of remembering Allah. It's an act of worship.
And in this beautiful verse, we're given this incredible promise. As we make the effort to remember his words, he remembers us. And that just transforms a daily task into this deep, amazing conversation.
Which brings us right to the heart of it all. Why are we even trying to climb this mountain in the first place? What is the real fruit of all this effort?
Because the ultimate prize, it isn't just to have the words of the Quran on your tongue. It's to have its meaning engraved on your heart. This method, just by its very nature, it forces you to go beyond just reciting. It makes you engage with the themes to see the connections, and it naturally guides you from just memorizing to a much deeper, more personal understanding. That is the real goal.
So the mountain is still there. It's just as beautiful, just as challenging. But you're different now. You have a map, you have a compass, and you have a clear first step. All that's left is to begin. So I'll just leave you with this one question to get you started. What's going to be the very first verse on your new map?